And welcome back to the Minot State Dome for continuing coverage of the boys State B basketball tournament here in 2001. We're only halfway through day one, and that's a good thing because you still have 2 more games to watch. Lee Timmerman along with Dan Hammer. Dan, we continue our quarterfinals with Goliath and maybe David if you want to go that far. A lot of people have this week.
I don't think you'd be stretching it by seeing that LT. The Can-Do Cubs, the only unbeaten team in Class B basketball, number 1, 25-0 against upstart Wing Tuttle Pettibone Robinson. Even with 8 losses, they won the region championship and they made it here to state. And with the luck of the draw, it is really David against Goliath.
Our final contest tonight will be Surrey and Trinity Christian out of Williston. Earlier today, the 2 quarterfinal games this afternoon. Dickinson Trinity, the Titans topped the Wilton Miners by 4, 41-37, and then North Border beat the defending champions of Oak Grove 62-53.
Well, Can-Do, the Region 4 champions with an enrollment of 115 in grades 9 through 12. Can-Do is located 42 miles northwest of Devil's Lake.
Well, it's not quite as simple as that for Wing Tuttle Pettibone Robinson. Let me take you from Bismarck, okay, that you go about 25 miles east, 21 miles north, you're at Wing, okay? That's Highway 36. And then you hit Tuttle, and then Robinson.
I'm with you.
And then Pettibone about another 40 miles to the east of there. So Wing Tuttle Pettibone Robinson right there on Highway 36.
You are indeed a professor of geography.
I looked it up last night.
Well, they all kind of parallel 20 miles north of I-94.
Exactly.
Well, let's talk about some of the keys to this basketball game, and for that we switch it over to Rich Flodwick and John Cole.
Well, thanks a lot, gentlemen. You know, although Can-Do has not lost a game this season, they certainly were tested in the region. They lost in 3 overtime, or they won, in 3 overtimes, so they've been pushed to the limit. Now, the keys for them, they've got to simply be aggressive. They got to be the aggressor. They tend to be nonchalant sometimes, complacent on offense. They got to move the ball and they got to move their feet. Active feet. That's another key to the game, especially on defense. They really got to move and get in position. If they do those things, then they should fare better than if they don't, obviously.
All right, for the opposition, well, the early threes, and what that means is the Wolf boys, Tanner and Scott, they're successful and they knock down the early threes and control chaos. What that means is the more ragged the play, the better it will be for them. We had 2 outstanding afternoon games. Guys, I say, how about bringing up 2 more good ones?
All right. Problem with that, John. A couple of things I think is interesting. Just looking through the things of the teams in here. Well, the youngest coach, Mike Wolf, he's only 22 years old, just finishing up college. We'll talk more about that. Well, the highest scoring average, Scott Wolf at 21. Second highest, Evan Lindahl, both playing. The best free throw shooter, Evan Lindahl. The best assist man, Scott Wolf. The top shot blocker, Evan Lindahl. The highest scoring team, Can-Do. Third highest scoring, Wing Tuttle Pettibone Robinson. And the most threes of the players in this tournament, Tanner Wolf with 56 and his brother with 53.
Well, I think there's a great curiosity in this basketball game because Evan Lindahl, 6'9", the star player for Can-Do, and of course Scott Wolf, 5'7", the star player for Wing Tuttle Pettibone Robinson, kind of the underdog and maybe the sentimental favorite here in the opening day.
Presentation of colors and tonight's national anthem being presented now at the B.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket
We will meet the starting lineups, the Cubs and the Cats, when we come back. A couple of players to look for. We talked a little bit about them on the right. Scott Wolf, he is just a dynamo and 5'7" goer. He's an all-state running back in football. He has over 1,200 points scored, almost 400 steals in his career, 21.2 points a game, and he's also pulls down about 5 rebounds, plus all the assists and all the steals he gets.
I'm really looking forward to seeing Scott Wolf, as well as Evan Lindahl, the 6'9" senior for Can-Do. Lindahl ranks in the top 20 among all-time scorers in North Dakota prep basketball history with 2,059 points. Of course, he got his recruiting decision out of the way earlier this year when he committed to UND.
And a Mr. Basketball finalist, we should add. Well, the starting lineups are brought to you by your friendly Dodge dealer. Dodge, different.
Here's how the Can-Do Cubs will start. At guard, a 6-foot senior and a good one. Zach Kekala averages 14 points a game, a good shooter from the 2-point range at 67%. The other guard is Tyler Johnson, a 5'11" junior. Leads the team in assists. Up front, as we told you, Evan Lindahl with a 20-point and 10-rebound average for the year. Jonathan Lindahl, Evan's younger brother. He's a 6'4" sophomore. His first year in the starting lineup, he averages 8 points a game. And the fifth member to this Cubs starting lineup is Aaron Mitchell, a 6'1" senior, who also averages in double figures. Mark Lindahl, yes, he is the father of Evan and Jonathan in his 3rd year with the Can-Do Cubs, who after losing in the region championship games the past 2 years, got over that hurdle this year and were crowned Region 4 champions.
Wing Tuttle, Pettibone Robinson. Scott Wolf will be starting. He is a senior and a very, very good one. His brother, Tanner Wolf, another one of the guards. Tanner hit the game-winning shot in the region championship game in a win over PBK by 3, and it was a 3-pointer, and his brother did assist on it, by the way. In the middle, Drew Magstad. He is a 6'4" senior. Also in the starting lineup, Chris Thorson. He averages double figures, 10 points, and is a leading rebounder. And Ricky Geloff is in the starting lineup. He is 5'10" and a senior. The head coach is Mike Wolf. Mike was an assistant for 2 years, and yes, Mike is the brother, not the father, the brother of Tanner and Scott. His father, Randy, is an assistant coach this year for the Wildcats. Can-Do and Wing Tuttle, Pettibone Robinson just getting set to tip it off here on quarterfinal night. The telecast of these tournament games has been authorized by special arrangement with the Board of Directors of the North Dakota High School Activities Association. Well, Dan, simply because I had nothing else to do while I was eating breakfast this morning, Can-Do's starting lineup is 31 feet 1 inch.
Okay, 31-1.
Wing Tuttle, Pettibone Robinson is 29 feet 4 inches.
29-4. 31-1 to 29-4.
The tallest and the smallest. And then when Kyle Burgess comes into the game, he's 5 inches shorter than Magstad, and he probably plays a few more minutes. So when Tuttle, Pettibone Robinson gets even shorter.
Hey, you know, this is the type of matchup that makes the Class B a special thing. You know, we all know about Epping and Hillsboro years ago, but it's matchups like this that you get that makes it such a fan favorite.
Lindahl, you want this one, him? Go ahead. That's Wolf. First 2 points, Tanner Wolf. And this is the type of matchup, just to follow up on what you were talking about, Dan, is that, you know, the rest of the fans like this matchup. I mean, it wouldn't take too much for the Wildcats to become the darlings of everyone in this building. Lindahl's first chance off a miss doesn't go, and here comes the Wildcats.
Well, remember one of the keys to the game, controlled chaos. WPTR would like this to be as much of an open game, hoop it up at the Summer Park game as you can.
Well, actually, you should almost call it open barn, as Tanner Wolf
There you go.
Because the Wolf family, Mike was telling me about, you know, everyone says we had open gym.
Yeah.
Well, they had a hoop in their barn, so it was open barn. People came over to the Wolf place because Tanner and Scott were playing and Mike was playing there not long ago. So they used to get games in the At open barn, not open gym.
I'd like to take Mike Wolf, Tanner Wolf, and Scott Wolf and put them in a little Prairie Rose 3-on-3. Huh? Think they could do some damage?
I think that guy can do some damage.
Oh, yeah.
Evan Lindahl. He now has over 2,061 career points. That is awesome. Scott Wolf, I think, just picked up. No, it's on the block.
Looks like it'll be against Tyler Johnson.
Oh, okay. That's Johnson, who has the tough task of trying to guard Wolf, help out a little bit. Thorson in the corner, averages double figures. Geloff just lost it out of bounds. Boy, Mark could play in his day, huh? Wow.
Mark Lindahl, a couple North Central Conference championship teams when he was at UND, and they went deep into the postseason as well.
Mitchell behind the line. Aaron Mitchell breaks the 2-all tie and puts Can-Do up 5-2. And Mark Lindahl also played professionally, and Wolf lost it. But then again, he did lose Johnson on that spin.
He did. It was a good dribble penetration to the basket, and probably would have had the easy two had he not lost the handle at the last minute.
Zach Kakala is number 55. We will hear his name mentioned, but not before we say Mitchell hits back-to-back threes.
It's so easy to get caught up in the Evan Lindahl angle when you talk about Can-Do, but I mean, Mitchell and Kakala are two outstanding starters that would start for any team, Class B team in this state.
And now here comes Kakala, and he pulls up with his feet on the line. Lindahl over the back. First foul on Evan, team second.
It might be tough tonight for Evan Lindahl not to think that in his mind that he has a chance for every rebound that comes off the rim because of the big size discrepancy in this game. So you will see him attack the basket, attack the boards with some real vengeance tonight.
Yeah, and don't get caught up thinking that Can-Do, as Wolf goes in and misses, that Can-Do, because they're so tall, are a slow down team, a half-court team. That's false.
71 points a game, and what I think is makes the biggest statement about their season is that they beat their opponents by an average margin of 23 a game.
Wolf in the open court. This one rolls in for Scott, and he is on the boards.
There's a little bit of Scott Wolf's game. Quick transition, nice no-look pass and the basket.
Johnson out top. That's been the spot. Mitchell's hit a couple, but that time he was watched a little bit closer by Geloff. Here's Johnson with an open three, and it comes away to Geloff. 3 minutes in. Wolf behind the line, and the rebound, Jonathan Lindahl. Jonathan had a big game in the regions when Evan was really boxed up big time. He came alive. Evan Lindahl put back.
Awfully tough, difficult for WTPR to stop that. If that rebound comes off strong at all, Evan with his 6'9" frame is going to have easy pickings.
Scott Wolf lost it, but it was last touched by Kakala. We will see our first look at Kyle Burgess, number 32. He is a 5'11" senior. Fourth leading scorer, second leading rebounder. Yes, Kyle plays a lot.
Well, and WTPR gets smaller, of course, with Burgess in the lineup, because you go from 6'4" Magstead to 5'11" Burgess.
Burgess first shot. But the one thing, if Burgess steps out like that, Tanner, Wolf for three. Lindahl being battled by Burgess, and I think it'll be on Kyle.
Well, Burgess was there for WTPR, so was Chad Thorson, or Chris Thorson, rather.
Number 32,
We are at the 4:19 mark of the first. This dead ball gives us a chance to break away with the Cubs leading it by 6 over the Wildcats. Wing, Tuttle, Pettibone, Robinson, all combined, they make up the Wildcats. It's about, I think, the 12th year, 11th year of that co-op. Wing made it to the tournament twice in 77 and 78. Robinson made it once the year before that. First trip as a co-op. Lindahl for 3, Jonathan. And a reach-in foul. Is that on Vogt? I don't know. Maybe not. I didn't see Scott McPherson over there telling everyone who it was.
I think it was on Kakla, LT.
Number 55,
Yep.
Zach Kakala, his first. Jesse Vogt, by the way, is a freshman at 5'11". He is number 22. Number 21 is Aaron Pearl into the game for the Cubs. That is Tanner Wolf, and that's the thing that the Wildcats cannot afford, Dan. They need to make shots.
Have to make those outside shots, the perimeter shots.
Kakala in and out on his three-point attempt. Vogt with the follow-up. The boards belong to the Cubs.
I guess so. A lot of second chances early for Can-Do.
Wolf slicing, dicing, and making thousands of points in just seconds. He has 4 of WPTR 6. His brother has the other 2.
I mean, and he's closing in on 1,300 career points. He's, what, 11 shy of that now?
Evan Lindahl, he is so dangerous in that mid-range. Over the top is number 24, Thorson. First one on Chris, team's 3rd. We will get our first look at number 30, Ryan Spey. He is a 5'10" junior. Inbounding is Pearl. And Lindahl, using that height, just slaps it back out to Kakala.
Another one of those long rebounds where it came out, and Lindahl's going to be the first guy up there just because of his size.
Heady defensive play by Wolf, went up in the air, threw it off of Jonathan Lindahl, and it's possession. Wing Tuttle, Pettibone Robinson, check this one out.
Shields instant replay. What a heady play.
Aaron Mitchell, number 24, who has those 2 threes, is back in. So is Tyler Johnson. Down by 6. Team with the ball. That's up for 3 and good by Ricky Jella.
That's 180 three-pointers made this year for WTPR. 180.
And 489 attempted.
They've attempted almost 500 for the year. Get it down and get it up.
So that's 25 games heading into this. So it's a lot of threes. Burgess had it taken off his hand by Johnson. 2 minutes left, opening quarter. Diagonal pass, and it was a quick one, and right there is Aaron Mitchell. So Mitchell has 2 outside the arc, and then he snuck in on the back door right there. 8 of his team's 14. Spey, that'll be an over in the back unless both can win the race, and that's just what Jesse does. Excellent hustle. 4 points for the freshman, Jesse Vogt.
Good, smart play by a freshman, knowing that if he relaxes, they get the turnover, but if he hustles, he gets the basket.
Tanner Wolf kicks out to Scott Wolf. He is on the drive. And Vogt, V-O-T-E, is all over the place.
Pretty physical kid for a freshman. 5'11", but he's
Good
got a
size.
good upper body on him.
Lindahl from 15. Pearl had it, but not long enough. Scott Wolf, he came into this with 380 career steals. Not bad, huh? I know a lot of players who don't score that many points in their college career, let alone their high school career, let alone steals. Wolf into the lane, dishes over, Burgess. And now here comes Can-Do. Ahead, Mitchell, offense. First one on Aaron. Well, as aggressive as he's been in the offensive side, so no real surprise to see that he's going for more.
Seems like Scott Wolf in the offensive end tonight, LT, has been happier to penetrate and either score off the dribble penetration or dish off of that rather than take that three-point jumper.
Thorson back in for WTPR. Closing seconds, quarter number 1. That's asking Johnson just to do something that not many people in this state can do, is just try to guard him one-on-one. And it does you really no good to throw a junk defense at the Wildcats because Wolf is so quick. The follow-up rolls out. That's been kind of the way the shooting goes. Wolf had the steal, but not another chance to put it up. So Can-Do wins the first 8 minutes of this game, 16-9 over Wing Tuttle, Pettibone Robinson.
All right, welcome back to the Minot State Dome. Can-Do with a 7-point lead as we get set to start the second quarter. I'm with the Cub cheerleaders. Who are you?
I'm Erica Jordy, Crystal Vondell, Megan Kakla, Lainey Davis, Christy Nervison, Darby Moore.
Okay, John Cole, let's go over to you.
All right, Rich, thanks. Let's meet the Wildcat cheerleaders. What's your name?
Ashley Simpson. I'm from Wing Tuttle Pettibone High School, and I'm a freshman.
Okay.
My name is Ashley Chris. I'm a senior at Tuttle Pettibone High.
Okay.
Christy Jangula, senior.
Okay.
Cassie Jasper, senior.
All right, we got them all in. Guys.
Well, the number 1 rated team in the state, number 1 in the final poll, last 8 weeks, no lower than second. Only Fargo Oak Grove in the beginning of the year there.
And despite a 25-0 record and number 1 ranking, they've played their fair share of close games.
Jonathan follows up, no good. Number 20 is Bryce Ernest. He is a 6'2" junior. Can-Do showing it's 8 deep thus far.
Hey, LT, if I would have told you that at the end of the first quarter, Can-Do would have attempted 9 more field goal attempts than WTPR, I think you would have been surprised.
Well, Jonathan Lindahl scores. The one thing that doesn't make that seem quite as big a gap, though, Dan, is when you take a look at they had 7 offensive rebounds, Can-Do did. That's quite a few extra chances.
No doubt about it. And Evan Lindahl, though he sits out now, had 8 rebounds in the first quarter. Wow.
Both teams trading misses, going up and down the floor. Thorson is bumped by Jonathan Lindahl. First one on Jonathan. Could be the team's 5th. Each one of the starters now have 1.
Shields instant replay. Chris Thorson taking it strong to the basket. Evan Lindahl returns.
Replacing Ernest.
He's 6'9", but I mean, he's not your prototypical post player because of his range in the offensive end. I mean, when he gets to college, he'll be more like a 3 and be a very good outside shooter. Yeah, he is a very good outside shooter.
In fact, we probably shouldn't even call him a post player because he's not.
He's not. Certainly, he's going to do his damage tonight because of the matchup, but he loves to play outside.
Lindahl in the deep corner. Zips it over to his brother. Now it's back across to Mitchell. Jonathan with the follow-up. Johnson, one more. Tyler Johnson fouled on his way to the floor. Scored it, and he'll get one more. Foul was on Burgess.
Shields instant replay. We talked about those offensive boards in the first quarter. Well, the trend continues, and this time Johnson gets his defender up in the air and gets a trip to the free throw line.
Johnson, 75% from the line this year. Leads the team in assists, hands out about 5 a game that lead directly to baskets. 21-9.
They need a couple threes to ignite them, I think, LT. They've only had 1 in the game.
That was an overtime win, by the way. Then he followed it up with, I think, 18 points and 12 assists against PBK in the region championship.
Well, WTPR scored 91 against LM&M, 87 against Lemoore, and 71 against PBK. I'd say they were hitting on all cylinders in the offensive end in the regional tournament. That's a pretty good average.
Well, they're well below that pace right now.
Very much so.
With 10 so far. Vogt, oh! Didn't rattle home for him, but he'll get a couple. Jesse Vogt very active along the baseline. Well, and he hit the gentleman we're looking at right now. We talk a lot about that triple overtime game against Wells County in the region. He hit the three-pointer at the end of the second overtime to send it into the third overtime. So how's that for a freshman stepping up and hitting a big shot for you?
And he's one of the guys that part of that rotation of reserves that Can-Do really developed in the month of January. They had a 2 to 3 week stretch where they played a lot of 8 to 10 point games. Even though they were winning those games, they were close games. And at that time is when Coach Lindahl really thought that the depth of his team took a step forward. Vogt being one of those guys.
Tanner puts it up from just inside the free throw line, and it rolls in for Tanner Wolf. Kakala. Scott Wolf will rebound and run. Puts it in off the backboard. The lead's back into single digits.
You can sure tell that's when they rebound off a miss and go, that's when they're really in their comfort zone.
That'll be an offensive foul, I believe, against Evan Lindahl.
How about that? 6'9", but a little 5'7", setting up to draw the charge.
Well, I think Evan Lindahl is just so used to having somebody muscled up on him as we take a look at the Shields instant replay.
Oh, is that nice? One hand off, 1 foot off the glass. A shot that was probably developed back in the barn.
But don't you think that Evan's probably so used to having someone hanging on him all the time that when he has the ball that low, it might not feel right with him not to have some type of contact.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Wolf, no shot on the floor, a foul, Tyler Johnson.
Well, Tyler Johnson is getting his workout tonight in the defensive end because Wolf is just so active out on the perimeter. But Johnson's done a nice job to this point. I mean, Scott Wolf has not had a lot of opportunities where he's caught the ball in three-point position and been wide open. Johnson has been with him and shadowed him very effectively here in the first half.
Front end of a 1-and-1. Boy, Lindahl's got to be, well, 9 for sure. He might have double-figure rebounds already. And we're halfway through the second quarter. That one was short. Vogt shot it up there. Kakala just spins from the top of the key, goes to the free throw line. First 2 for Zach.
Yep. Went to the top of the key, pivoted back in, and found himself all alone.
Tanner Wolf up from 3. Offensive rebound, Magstad. First 2 for Drew.
I think you would consider those bonus points for WTPR. Anytime you can get a second chance point tonight, you'd be smiling.
Behind the line, in and out. That was Pearl. A rebound and goal, Scott Wolf. He'll just keep on going to the hoop. Finds his brother into the lane. And it comes right to the hand of Spey, but not through. So here comes Kakala. Kakala with a pull-up jumper. Tanner Wolf will now rebound and go. Back out. 3-point attempt. Those are the shots. Geloff had one earlier, but those are the shots that Wing Tuttle Pettibone Robinson really needs to make. Tanner finally got one. It's a three-pointer for Tanner Wolf. Back to 6. Can-Do with the lead in the ball. Vogt asking for it, and he has it. Baseline three-pointer.
He must have had a good vibe there, huh? Because he was alone in the corner, and right before he received the pass, he motioned, get it to me, get it to me.
And me, in this case, Vogt is the leading scorer for his team right now with 9. Mitchell next with 8. Wolf spins, drops a pass, and it ends up out to Tanner. Three-point attempt was a little short. 2 minutes left to play in the half. Into the corner. Tyler Olson, number 42. And Mark Lindahl asked for a timeout, which he does receive. It is a full timeout. 2 seconds under 2 minutes left in the first half. We'll be right back. You're watching NBC North Dakota Sports. On the south end of the MSU Dome, that's the Wildcat fans. Wing Tuttle, Pettibone, Robinson. Winners of 10 of its last 12 games.
That'd be duck country.
Whoa, there's a lot.
Major duck breeding part of North America up there.
Jonathan Lindahl, he's been a little bit cold with his shot. I tell you, you drive around in there, and about every quarter mile you come across the puddle that when you know that the ice is going to melt away, that there'll be ducks sitting on it. Chris Thorson fouled from behind. Ernest, I believe. Yes, it is on number 20. That'll put Thorson on the line where he's made 60% on the year. A 1-and-1. 9 total team fouls against Can-Do, but nobody in foul trouble yet. Johnson and both Lindahls have 2 each. That's the first points in the tournament for Chris.
Wing Tuttle, Pettibone, Robinson, LT, a team that started rather slowly, losing 4 of their first 6 games before they hit stride.
And after 13 games, which is deep into the season, they were 7-6.
There you go.
Thorson makes them both. 28-21. Cubs have the ball and the lead. Mitchell brings it down, finds himself open. Kakala follows off the glass. Kakala with 4 points now, all in this period. Kakala now out trying to guard Wolf. Off a screen, drops a pass down. It's a good one right to Thorson from Jeloff.
Nice work by Jeloff. Penetrate the defense and good court awareness. Knew his teammate was there.
Mitchell, he was hot in the first quarter. He's up to double digits now, 10 in the game. Wolf will pump from 3. Jeloff got it, and a foul.
Well, the basket comes after Scott Wolf's really first wide open look from 3-point line. And you see Jeloff get around Lindahl, Jonathan that is, and had pretty easy pickings after that. The third on Jonathan, and he'll take a seat.
Substitutions being made. Vogt is back in for Can-Do. Jeloff had a 3-point field goal, now trying to make a 3-point play. And that is good. Evan Lindahl will come back in. 32-26, Can-Do with the lead.
Wildcats have been able to hang in there, LT. I mean, at a point earlier, it looked like they were on the verge of being blown out. Was it not 21-9 at one point?
I think so.
They were kind of teetering on that brink of really facing a deficit that would be completely tough to come back from at any point of the game, and here they are now back within 6.
Pearl has it. Can-Do looking for the last shot. Vogt on the baseline, and he was fouled by Chris Thorson. 5th on the team, or 6th on the team, I should say. Mike Wolf right there, the head coach. Mike didn't have any help this year. He would coach up until the districts, I should say, where his dad set in, but he would coach the JV game, run into the locker room, go, okay, guys, let's do this, this, and this, and then they went out and warmed up. Evan Lindahl scoring there. Evan has 6.
That deserves overtime, LT. He'll have to take that up with the board.
Down to a second. There was a whistle, offensive charge, so wipe off the basket. It won't go. And Jeloff picks up his personal foul as we head to half, 34-26. Can-Do leads it. Here it is in the Shields instant replay.
Well, Evan Lindahl establishing position in the paint, and would have been a big bucket there for WTPR at the end of the half.
John Cole standing by. Go ahead, John.
Mike, I know you wanted to shoot better, but you're still hanging in here. 34-26 against the team, and obviously it's a big height advantage in there.
Yeah, we're not shooting the ball real well. I mean, we've had some easy looks down low. We just haven't converted. And, you know, we're getting beat so bad on the boards right now. And we got to start boxing out. And when we box out, we're back in the game easy.
Certainly, comeback's nothing new for this club, right? You got a scrappy bunch of kids. Chaos.
We'll get after in the second half and see what we can do.
All right, Mike, thanks for the visit. Appreciate it. Gentlemen.
Can-Do looking for win number 26 on the year against no defeat. Swing Tuttle, Pettibone, Robinson looking for number 18. They're 17-8 right now. We are at the half, and we will return with our Farmers Union Insurance halftime report. But no doubt been a year of high expectations for the Cubs from Can-Do, back at the state tournament, first time since '79, #1 rated, undefeated. But what a lot of people may not know is that Can-Do has quite a sports history of its own. Reporter Mike Carey has more.
Can-Do is a town of roughly 1,500 people, roughly 45 miles northwest of Devil's Lake.
You're looking down our main street right now.
Meet Mike Farbo, the town's unofficial Goodwill ambassador and guest tour guide, as we take an inside look at Can-Do.
This is Dee's Cafe, and we were lucky enough to catch some of the coffee crowd here this morning.
Hey, 7 guys and caffeine. Bet they got a lot to say.
No, I don't have much to say. I wish them a lot of luck, and I think we're going to bring the state back.
We're right in front of Can-Do Lumber. When we go in here, we'll find a couple guys that used to play basketball for Can-Do. One of them was on the last team that went to the state tournament. We got Brian and Mark Haugen.
So much fun, the way the town supports it, and that's really the big memories of it.
One thing you'd quickly learn about Can-Do is it not only has considerable history, but considerable sports history. Among others, former Minnesota Viking Dave Osborne hails from here.
We're in the sports section of the museum right now.
Former Rutgers coach Dewey King and golfer Phyllis Davis come from Can-Do. Former coach Dale Axvig played basketball against Phil Jackson.
How bad did you smoke Phil Jackson when you played against him?
We beat him both times.
And let's not forget Brad Bergdahl.
He went on to a football career at UND, and his claim to fame is that Shannon Burnell took Brad's number when he came to Grand Forks.
I'm still trying to figure out how you got control of a microphone.
As you can see, the people of Can-Do have nothing to hide, especially their good nature. With special correspondent Mike Farbo, Mike Carey reporting for the North Dakota NBC Sports Network.
Okay, I'm with head coach of Can-Do, Mark Lindahl. Mark, that first half, a lot of good things, but you've got to be concerned about the team you're playing, too.
Well, we've let them penetrate a little bit too much, and weren't rotating on our defensive help, and we've got to get on the boards a little better than what we've done.
Now, you're getting the ball inside, and you're getting second opportunities, so you are taking advantage of some things, but it's going to be a whale of a second half, isn't it?
Yeah, it should be. We've got to keep banging it in inside. We've got to shoot a little better percent. I think we're only shooting 35%, so we got to do a little better job shooting the ball.
Okay, thanks a lot. That's Mark Lindahl, head coach of Can-Do, and he'd like to be up by a lot more than 8, I'll tell you that.
Well, Coach Lindahl talked about those rebounding. I mean, 12 of those 27, though, I think is the biggest thing for Can-Do on the rebounding end of things. Don't you think, Dan?
No doubt about it. I mean, they're on pace for a 54 rebound night. And again, 12 rebounds and a half is huge. Offensive rebounds.
Aaron Mitchell leads all scorers with 10. Scott Wolf has the basketball right now as we start the third. Now he just picked up his first foul. Scott Wolf, there's Tyler Johnson has to go, yes. He's been scooting around me all day. This time I got in front of him.
That's right. Tyler Johnson has expended most of his energy in the defensive end tonight.
Trying to build on an 8-point halftime lead. Johnson spinning past Wolf, kicks it over. Lindahl, Jonathan, no good. Another offensive board, this one to Johnson. Rebound to Scott Wolf. Tanner Wolf. He really needs his shot to start to roll, I think, for the Wildcats.
No doubt about it. Scott and Tanner Wolf combined now in the game are 6 of 20 from the field, and there's no doubt that the Wildcats have to have those two pick up their shooting to have a good chance in this game.
Easy pickings down low for Evan Lindahl. He had 3 guys around him, but they were all 6-footers shorter. And so he just spun and scored to make the lead 10. Jeloff back over to Wolf. Wolf past Johnson. Third one on Tyler. There's what Scott Wolf did in that first half from the field.
And no three-pointers from Scott, who had 53 coming into the game.
He tries to, well, he heard you, Dan.
Yes,
there he
did.
is.
Make that 54 for the season.
10 points now for Scott Wolf. Pass intended for Kakla, fouled by Jeloff, number 22. Look at that for Evan Lindahl in the first half. 5 of those offensive rebounds. Yeah, you're looking to go 6 points. I wonder, he didn't seem like he did much in the first half. And wow, he was all over the boards.
You hear, you know, we always talk about his scoring, and certainly that's worth talking about with 2,059 coming into the game. But he also has
970 rebounds.
Closing in on 1,000 career rebounds, 970 to start the game.
Yeah, at this pace, he'll be 10 down before tomorrow.
Exactly.
Now he pops out to show his range and rips it.
You know, that's what Rich Glass loves about Evan Lindahl. At 6'9", he's going to cause a lot of NCC teams a matchup problem on the perimeter.
30-second timeout taken by Mike Wolf and the Wildcats. One thing about Evan Lindahl I think is kind of unique and gives you a little bit of perspective on how grounded he is. He had opportunities to go visit Division I colleges and Division I campuses all over the country who had been recruiting him. He basically told his dad, well, I was born and raised in North Dakota, and on the next level, and this was before he signed at UND, whether it's at SU or UND, I want to represent my state on the next level, and he ended up going, of course, to UND. So I think that's something to say about where his roots and his feelings are.
Hats off to him, too, because as great as it is to see people like Jeff Boschee and Travis Kraft chase that Division I dream, you also need those kids who decide that they're going to stay where their roots are. And that's what Evan Lindahl has done with his decision to go to UND.
Thorson on a cutter. He tried to go back. I think Lindahl got a piece of it. Now here comes Kakla on a full sprint. Lob pass, and he was able to corral it. Evan with 2 more. Athleticism on that play. They looked for the alley-oop dunk, but the pass wasn't quite there. He had to make an adjustment. Wolf worked a foul out of Kakla.
I'd like to see that Lindahl basket again. That was a thing of beauty. What an athletic play. Let's check it out on the Shields instant replay. As you said, they go for the lob and the dunk, and yet he has the ability to catch it midair and reverse it midair.
Scott Wolf's free throw is in. He's 2 out of 4 now from the line. Look again from up top.
My. Which reminds me that Lee and I will name our Midwest Dairy Association Player of the Game after this game and every tournament game we do.
Well, he has 13 points and probably 15 rebounds already with 5:01 left in the third. 43-31 is the score with Can-Do leading. Well, we're trying to take a look at the right arm of Ricky Geloff, number 22. Ricky has a scar. You see it from his shoulder all the way down to his elbow. He was in a nasty car accident this summer in July. The doctors told him he probably wouldn't play any more basketball. He didn't start the first 10 games of the year. He worked his way back. In fact, when he played in some of those or showed up at some of the open barns, was that Mitchell again?
Yes, it was.
Mitchell has 14, but when they, instead of open gym, open barn, he just shot around left-handed, worked his way in, got some strength back in his right arm, and wanted to play his senior year.
It's really a miracle that he is playing this season.
The man who scored the last bucket brings it ahead right now. Wolf knocks it away. Here comes Thorson ahead to Scott Wolf. Wildcats down by 14. 45-31. Wolf stops and drops the pass to Burgess off the backboard.
Well, when Wolf penetrates and drives to the basket, he draws the attention of all defenders around him. He did that time and then again dumped it off to his open teammate.
Mitchell got another one. Well, maybe we shouldn't have been a little bit thinking too much about the Midwest Dairy Association Player of the Game. Aaron Mitchell with 16 points. He's making a case.
Mitchell, the team leader in threes.
Back-to-back for Burgess.
I personally wasn't making any prejudgment. I was just teasing our viewers and reminding our viewers how happy we are to have the Midwest Dairy Association sponsoring that player of the game.
Well, now Lindahl makes his case again.
And if I was, it was a subtle suggestion.
Oh, okay. Well, then, see, I've just worked with you for so many years, I pick up on those subtleties. And it's Burgess again. 6 in the quarter now for Burgess.
Yeah, I like this pace. Back and forth.
Both teams like to play this pace.
Yeah, WTPR would probably like a couple stops here because the trading buckets won't do the job for them.
Well, it's back to Lindahl.
How many does he have in this quarter?
Let me see. He's got 17, so 11. 11 in the quarter. Wolf had that one roll off. Kakla with the rebound. 17 in the game for Lindahl. He's game high honors. Aaron Mitchell's one behind with 16. Looked good in the air, but it didn't quite go through. Here comes Geloff. Pass ahead. Scott Wolf. He laid it up short. Pearl with the two-hand chest pass that's picked off.
Oh, nice pass.
Wolf to Wolf. Scott to Tanner. 9 in the game for Tanner. Still the lead is 14. Pearl lost it. Here comes Wolf again. Will he wait for his teammates? Yeah, I think so. Geloff got the 3. Ricky's second of the game. He has 9, and we're down. Still by double digits, though. I thought it was back to singles. It kind of been back and forth a little bit.
It's enough, though, for Mark Lindahl to have a bit of a concern. He gets a timeout.
32nd timeout taken by Mark Lindahl.
You know, we've seen Evan Lindahl score these flurry of points in the third quarter. His scoring average this year dropped 6 points. A year ago as a junior, he averaged 26 points a game. This year, 20 points a game. But in the same breath, his assists this year have gone up. So he's really, in the scope of it, become a better team player.
Yeah, Kakla's helped that. He's hit a lot of shots.
Mitchell
this year. Mitchell, same deal. And his younger brother, Jonathan's at 8.5 a game, so that's almost 4 players in double figures.
Whew, that was nearly stolen.
Johnson, wide open, looks good, rattles in. Tyler Johnson. We were sitting at a position where you could just see that one had a real nice arc on it. Wolf into the lane. Another rebound for Evan. Kakla and the Cubs have numbers. Down low is Vogt. A little bit too deep that time. Burgess with his three-point attempt. On the floor, Wolf who knocked it away.
Good effort by Tanner, who kissed the hardwood with his face as he sprawled out after that basketball.
Can-Do, a tough team to really pressure full court. They tried the lob again. This time it didn't work. And Mark Lindahl's looking at Kakla going, I don't believe, Zach, that's what we talked about in the timeout. I'm just guessing by his facial reaction to that.
And I think you're right by judging by the fact that Aaron Pearl has come up off the bench now along the Can-Do side.
Tyler Olson, number 42, he came away with it there.
They want the last shot now, LT.
Under 30 seconds left in the third. 55-42. Can-Do with the lead. Cubs go with 10. Kakla stripped by Wolf. He has a few seconds to work with.
Still got 3 seconds.
Up from deep and off. 55-42. Number 1 rated Can-Do leads after 3 quarters.
Well, hope you're enjoying our live coverage of the Class B tournament here at the Minot State Dome, and I'm in the Can-Do student section, and this is Alyssa. What's with the hat?
Today it's Fiesta Day. We have a theme for each day we're down here.
Okay. Shouldn't you be at home doing homework?
No, I'd rather be here. I've been waiting for this for a long time.
All right, you kids go do some homework, all right? Okay.
Yeah, waiting for a long time. In fact, none of those ladies and gentlemen in the student section were even born the last time Can-Do made it to the tournament in '79.
Yeah. Can-Do was back at the State B in 1933, then 54 and 79.
Vogt had a three-pointer that comes bouncing out to Johnson. Jesse on the fly, drops it to Evan Lindahl, who drops through his 18th and 19th points of the game. Make it 19 and 20.
Good shooting night for Evan Lindahl. 9 of 15. Of course, with attempts like that last one.
Do you have him for 2 threes?
Yeah, he had 2 threes in the course of that third quarter.
There. Now I match.
Check out the Cubs. 9 of 13 in the third quarter. Tack one onto that in the fourth quarter, and they have made 10 of their last 14 field goals. If you're WTPR and try to make a comeback, that's not a good stat.
Vogt went from one end to the other, but put it up a little bit too hard. Scott Wolf over in the corner. To Thorson. Well, Mike Wolf in that quarter break said, you know, work the ball to Chris, and that's just what they did and got him an open shot. Along the baseline, Mitchell misses, and that'll go against Lindahl. 5'6", boxing out 6'9", and that's the third one on Lindahl.
While he was trying to position himself for what would have been his 18th rebound, LT. He's got 17 rebounds right now, 12 defensive rebounds, 5 offensive rebounds.
And Evan will take a rest, bringing in Bryce Ernest again.
You know, we keep all kinds of records for points.
Nothing for boards in there.
Nothing for a good old hard work and rebounding effort. Nothing.
Wolf down low to Thorson. That was a nice move off the pass.
That's exactly what Coach Mike Wolf still wants from his team, despite the fact that it's down 57-44 as we look at the Shields instant replay. He wants to create off-the-dribble penetration. Nice little hop step in the dish. Beautiful.
Scott Wolf drives into the lane, as he's done countless times this year, but his shot off the backboard did not go, and then Scott picked up the foul. We'll take this timeout at the 6:43 mark of the fourth, with the Cubs of Can-Do leading by 13.
If not, we're going full 11, full court, man to man. Okay? Just work your tails off. Get after it. Okay? We're plenty of time left. We're still in this game. Okay? Keep your heads up. Keep working hard. Boys, don't give up.
Can-Do has done a very good job this year with teams that have tried to press them. That is just what WTPR is doing now, and it worked.
But for the most part,
yes,
they have done a good job against teams that have pressed them.
Still a lot of time left in this period, 6.5 minutes. Tanner Wolf for three. Kakala with the board.
4 3-pointers on the night for the Wildcats.
In the context of what we thought coming into this game, that's not nearly enough. Obviously, the scoreboard indicates that, but Wildcats figured that they would have to make a lot of threes to hang with the top-rated team in the state. Johnson flips a pass down low to Ernest. Offensive foul, third one on Bryce. Evan Lindahl back in now.
Nice numbers for the night, aren't they?
Yeah, I'd say so. That's a pretty good day. And he's looking for more. 20 points, 17 boards. And of those, 5 on the offensive variety. Sean Harrington is number 14 in for Wing-Tuttle Pettibone Robinson. Aaron Mitchell's second foul. That should put, I think that'll put the bonus into effect. Nope, number 6, I guess. That's what I get for thinking. I'll try not to do that again. Harrington thought for 3 for a moment. Tanner Wolf tried that jump stop again, but he was cut off very nice by Mitchell. Open 3, a good look for Wolf. 18 rebounds for Lindahl. Ahead, Kakala bounces it. Mitchell fouled.
Good decision by Kakala, though. I mean, that was a situation where they boarded and had numbers and were able to beat the Wildcats down the court. Shields instant replay. Kakala with the bounce pass.
That's the 5th foul on Thorson. Yes, it is, I guess. So he fouls out. 5:38 to play.
Trinity Christian of Williston and Surrey will close out opening day a little bit later. In case you didn't join us this afternoon, we are assured of a new state champion. We are assured of a new state champion as North Border defeated Fargo Oak Grove earlier today, and also Dickinson Trinity defeated Wilton.
Aaron Mitchell's up to 17. That's 6 over his average, so Mitchell got off to a very good start, hitting those first couple of threes, and he's been in the offensive flow ever since. 18 points now for Mitchell.
Mitchell's one of those kids who, besides your normal work ethic that you put into the game, kind of goes the extra mile. He's a open enrollment young man from Rock Lake. He makes a 60-mile round trip every day to Can-Do.
Wow. Offensive board, another one for Can-Do. Steal in the backcourt. Scott Wolf spinning, got it off the backboard. 14 now for Scott. Seems like just about every time, you know, we go back and forth a little bit, you look up and it's 13 points. It's
Exactly.
been 13-14 for a long time.
Yeah, they haven't been able to put a major run on Can-Do to get it down below double digits.
In fact, 13 is where it was at the quarter. It's up to 15 right now as Kakla snuck in, and his teammate Mitchell saw him.
Mighty good look from Mitchell.
Wolf again.
Likes that spin move, doesn't he?
Well, when you're that quick. This little wraparound there and a lob pass to Lindahl. Evan elevates from the baseline. 22 points, 19 rebounds for Evan Lindahl. Well, the Cubs have had every answer and then some. Spey along the baseline, kicks it back out. Harrington behind the line. That's Tyler Johnson with the rebound. Tyler will bring it ahead halfway through the fourth. Mitchell casts up for three. Foul number 4 on Jonathan Lindahl. And now we'll shoot free throws.
Young Jonathan, one of those guys who flat out earned his spot in the starting rotation, and it goes back to the offseason. Between the end of last year and the beginning of this year, Coach Lindahl had about 170 open gym practices. John missed 4 practices out of that entire bunch and elevated his game and was able to put himself in position to win a starting job coming into this season.
He's 6'4", and he's not done growing.
Oh, no.
Well, that's 20 rebounds now for Evan.
20 rebounds, 20-plus point night.
That's been on the offensive end. Mitchell and Lindahl. Mitchell tried there. At 22 for Evan, and Aaron Mitchell has 18. Will break away with the 3:27 left in the fourth quarter. Number 1 Can-Do playing the part. Boys Class B basketball tournament. We are live in Minot.
Well, LT, there are lessons to be learned in the regular season, and I think for this matchup, the lesson that Can-Do learned came in the Mid-Cota game, because if you would take one team that was on the schedule during the regular season for Can-Do that compared to the Wildcats, it was Mid-Cota. And that was one of those games where Can-Do had to scratch and claw and fight after being down by 13 points to Mid-Cota to come back and win that game.
Yeah, well, Wells County has a little bit of the same type of attributes, and that was the triple overtime
there you
game.
Go.
That was the 4th foul on Johnson, by the way. Puts Scott Wolf at the free throw line. Rebound, or a foul on Spey. You know, it's not easy what Can-Do is trying to do. Run the table from that number 1 position and be the only undefeated team, Class A or Class B, only high school undefeated team, period, in the state.
Rather unusual back in the 90s, though. 4 teams are actually able to run the schedule and finish unbeaten state champions. Watford City, Munich, Minot Ryan, and Oak Grove all did it in the 90s.
Aaron Mitchell with his 1 of 2 gives him 19. That's Burgess. 3 minutes left in the fourth. Kakla trying to cut off Wolf. Another rebound by Evan, by the way. Now we're debating back and forth between the radio guys and us. Now we think it's 21 rebounds. They think it's 20 now. As if it makes a difference.
It's a good night. He's averaging about 20.5 rebounds for the night.
And he's up to 23 points.
Good free throw shooter, too, for a big guy. 79% on the season.
Yep, on average, 8 out of 10. I mean, he just has awesome touch, and he has tremendous skills. Basketball ability, yes, indeed. 66-48 right now. Baseball pass ahead to Mitchell. Aaron lays in 2 more, and he is over 20. Wolf will cast for 3, and Scott hits that 3. The officials' timeout. Scott is, well, I think it's for an ankle. Spey looked like he rolled an ankle. Scott McPherson stopped play in order for the injury to be looked at. Right ankle, it looks like, for Spey. Kakala needs a little help. And stripped clean, Scott Wolf. Scott's scoring a bunch here in the 4th.
He sure uses his body well. You can tell that he's accustomed to playing against guys that are considerably taller than him because he
just knows how to score.
That's right.
That was the 5th foul on Tyler Johnson, so Tyler fouls out with 2:14 to play. 21 in the game for Scott Wolf right now, looking for his 22nd, so that's his season average of 21. Mark Lindahl has an opportunity to talk things over with his assistants and decide who to bring in. Spey looks like he's trying to walk off that ankle behind the Wing Tuttle Pettibone Robinson bench, and we will see number 22, Jesse Vogt. And now a 30-second timeout taken by Mark Lindahl. You can already see the ankle tape. Full timeout, so we'll take the break here at 2:14. We'll be back with Can-Do leading. Looking through the backboard. That's the little slam cam hanging over the basket on the south side of the MSU Dome. Scott Wolf with his toe to the free throw line, looking for what I believe is his 22nd point of the night. And he got it. That's 10 in the quarter. But still, again, you look up, the lead's 14. Wolf, steal, Wolf, bucket. 2 minutes remaining. Vogt turned it over. Chance to make it single digits, maybe.
A 3 here would certainly make the final 2 minutes a little bit more interesting.
On the drive, the pull up. Tough shot. Harrington tried it.
Yeah, Jonathan Lindahl there at 6'4". That didn't have much of a chance.
Mitchell double teamed. He works his way out of that. Jesse Vogt, the freshman, scores again. He has 11. Good. He had a hot first half at 9 in the first half. Kick it back out to Burgess. Will try for 3. Mitchell rebounds. Mitchell fouled.
Well, for just a second there at the 1:53 mark, it looked like maybe Wing Tuttle Pettibone Robinson might put on one more flurry. If they hit that 3, they would have been able to get it to single digits, but that was kind of snuffed out in a hurry by Can-Do.
Well, Aaron Mitchell's 3 out of 4 from the line in this quarter. 21 points.
Is this a versatile player? Big night tonight scoring. He's second in the team in rebounding, 3rd in assists.
In and out, so he has 22, and his teammate Evan Lindahl has 24 of the team's 71. Scott Wolf pumps from 3 and switches it on through. Timeout taken by Mike Wolf after the make. 12-point difference. There's a minute 13 left. We'll be back to the beat. That's the roof of the MSU Dome, home of the Minot State Beavers and the 2001 Boys State B Basketball Tournament. Can-Do with the ball. The lead is 12. Mitchell brings it across half court. circles back now. Kakala. Fouled by Tanner Wolf.
Just to kind of give you a perspective of what Can-Do can do when they're playing at their best. We saw North Border earlier today advance to the semifinals. As you look at Mark Lindahl, one of the most impressive wins of the year that Can-Do put on the board was against North Border when they tagged a 28-point loss on the Eagles. It was early in the season, but it's something to keep in your back of your mind as we progress through the tournament the next couple days.
Kakala with 8. Well, Wolf might as well pull up and see what you got, Scott. He's got 27 points tonight. Jonathan Lindahl on a 10-second count. Just 43 seconds left. Tanner Wolf with it. Goes baseline underneath. Got it back up and in.
Wow.
It's 11 now for Tanner, but I didn't think there was much space for him in there.
Geez, little 5-6 creation, huh?
Mitchell thinking basket. Boy, he has played a solid game. 24 points for Aaron Mitchell. Scott Wolf lost it, got it back, lost it, bounced it off the foot of Lindahl.
Aaron Mitchell is not going down without a fight for the Midwest Dairy Association Player of the Game.
How many rebounds does he have?
Well, I don't think he's in the 20s. He had a couple. He had a couple through 3 quarters.
Ernest comes back in. Olson comes back in. First look at number 12. That's Lauren Howard, a 5'9" junior. And the Wildcats will take a 30-second timeout to get the players who do so much work in the during the regular season into the game.
Get them a little prime time.
Yeah, Leno, Peterson, Troutman, Thorson, I believe, are the ones in. That's the right ankle of Mr. Spey.
Well, Region 4 has been very good here the last few years. Leeds won the state championship 2 years ago. Cheyenne Minnewacan, the team that beat Can-Do in the region title game last year, like Leeds did 2 years ago. But last year, Cheyenne Minnewacan advanced to the semifinals before losing in overtime to eventual state champion Oak Grove.
Passes into Sean Harrington. That went up and over. Well, it's a 3-step process for the ultimate goal. Can-Do has made it up to step number 1. 75-61, Can-Do wins.
"26 wins in 26 games.
Just kept that lead, 13 at 14, right in there. You know, got it down to maybe, a couple minutes left, we thought, and then it was back up again. It ends up being 14.
Never really were seriously threatened, I don't think.
So we're 3/4 the way through our opening day. We'll get a few comments from a couple of the players. John Cole is down on the floor with the man who had 27 points.
Scott, I know this didn't end the way you wanted to, but still a fun and entertaining ball game, and you're out there having a good time, right?
Yeah, we just come out and just have as much fun as we possibly could, because we knew we were the underdogs, and we just come out and give it 110. We just fell a little short tonight. I guess we just ran out of gas, I guess.
Yeah, you just couldn't cut them down once they got to that 12 mark, though you did make a couple runs at them.
Yeah, we did. We hit our shots a little late. We couldn't get going. Usually we start out pretty hot. Tonight we just couldn't get our shots going, and if we ain't hitting our threes, we're in big trouble, and that's what happened.
Well, thank you very much for the visit. You've had a tremendous senior year. We'll see you tomorrow, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, Rich, over to you.
Well, you know, John, Evan Lindahl needed 30 rebounds to break 1,000. He took a big step towards that. You really took advantage of your height advantage against WPTR tonight, didn't you?
Yeah, we knew they were going to be small. We were going to have to, our guards were going to have to play good defense on their perimeter players, and I think they did a pretty good job throughout the game. They got a couple threes there at the end, but they shut them down, and then we had a size advantage inside, and we got it in there and scored, and I think we out-rebounded them by quite a bit, so.
Yeah, Evan, there's a lot of talk about the pressure that's put on this team. You undefeated, ranked #1 for most of the year. This win sure does help take a little bit of that pressure off, doesn't it?
The Midwest Dairy Association's player of the game is Evan Lindahl. The 6'9" senior will receive a certificate and a donation sent to Can-Do on his behalf from your local dairy farmers. Ah, the power of cheese.
Ah, the power of 6'9" against a much smaller team. Lindahl with an assist. Lindahl had boards tonight aplenty. Lindahl had points tonight aplenty. How about 24 points, 23 rebound effort, including that beautiful mid-air catch and mid-air reverse.
Yeah, it's what he did on the boards that earned him that player of the game. In my mind, of course, Aaron Mitchell with his 25 points led them all. Evan Lindahl had 24, but yeah, awesome job on the board.